Hey, good morning. Welcome to Hobby Evolution, episode 168. Going to be kind of a short episode this morning. I have a crap load of issues going on at work. It's been a relatively quiet 6 weeks, and now everything the fan yesterday, and it all happened at like 4 p.m. Like 4 p.m. and into the night. I'm getting all these issues that are popping up, and typically in my line of work, Fridays are either super quiet and absolutely nothing is going on, or there is just a crap ton of terrible things going on and issues, and there's no in between. So today is the first Friday in a while that I get to deal with a bunch of issues, and we got like 3 inches of snow last night, so I have to find some time at some point today to blow. I'm not sure how much we got, maybe 3 inches. I shoveled the back area for the dog last night, probably 2 to 3 inches. George, good morning. Yep, the mail is slow. Good morning, snowman. Yeah, the mail is slow. Me a flat rate box. I got a PWE from the Stricklands in Iowa, and my buddy Robert in the Chicago suburbs sent. Haven't opened all the mail yet, so I'm going to do that this morning. Herman, good morning. What's up? So I got to get a proper count on the Cubs. I had actually 4 packages because this came. Mark, good morning. I ordered some top loaders. I found a website, Liliana's cardsandcollectibles.com. I have their card because I found them on eBay, and then their prices are cheaper on their website. Liliana's cardsandcollectibles.com. Now they did raise their top loader prices like this week. Last week I was able to get 600 top loaders and 600 penny sleeves for $75 shipped, and that was the total price, tax, no shipping. So it was $75. So that comes out to what was that, like 11 cents per top loader, which is than I want to spend, but it's really hard to find deals under 10 cents a top loader right now. I did buy 900 plus. That was the eBay listing, 900 plus used top loaders. That's where I try to find them in bulk on eBay used. So those should be coming. So I'm set for top loaders for a little while. So I was actually waiting. I ran out, and I'm a day behind on shipping because of the top loaders were supposed to arrive on Monday, and it was like just in time. Like I know better. I should order in advance, and I even did this time a little bit in advance to kind of time out any delays. So they were slower, and then they were supposed to be delivered Monday. Didn't come Monday. I was good. I ran out of top loaders on Tuesday, and they didn't show up. They showed up Wednesday. So there I go. So so I was a day late for my own standards, not eBay standards. I'm usually, I have 3-day handling on eBay, and I'm usually a day or two ahead. Every once in a while, there's a shipment that trickles to that last day, but for the most part, all of my shipments go out within that 3-day window. Like one every 1,000, I miss it by a day or whatever. So my own standards, I try to be like a day or two ahead of that 3-day window. So that was the top loader news. I had a topic to talk about today, but I'm gonna put that off until tomorrow, just because I've got to get to work. I want to talk about the value. In the mail, I'm going to talk about the mail, but tomorrow I'm going to talk about the value of a card and how we perceive the price tag of certain cards. Zach, what's up? And this was a tweet last night, and it really caught my attention because it was a 1-of-1 of a Cubs player, and Shady Pin Chaser, I think, is the Twitter username, and he pulled this 1-of-1 out of a Panini Contenders box, and then he's got it on eBay. He got an offer. He countered, and it was declined. So he kind of just posed the question to Twitter about the price tag and that. So I want to go deep into that tomorrow. I'm gonna do a blog post at some point about that as well, because I think it's a great point, and a lot of times we value cards differently. So I'm going to explain that further tomorrow. I want to talk about the mail being slow. Herman said, don't jinx it, because at some point, like a week or two ago, I said I was surprised at the lack of returns, or not returns, but non-receipt claims that I received during the mail. And now they've really started to mount. I was getting like 2 or 3 a day for about a week. Earlier this week, I went 2 straight days without a single non-receipt claim. Yesterday, I had 3. And I have a feeling that's going to continue, because some of these are from like mid-December. So I'm worried about, the rest of December. And for my own buying, I know that things are still slow because my top loaders, they weren't terribly slow, but they were still, it took longer in transit. They just stopped somewhere for 3 days. So there's still some terrible delays, and I'm expecting some more non-receipt claims, because some of these are dating back to the first couple weeks of December. And I had somebody that we actually follow each other on Twitter. He sent me an eBay message, and I didn't know we followed each other on Twitter. And I know who he is, but I didn't realize it when I shipped. So he bought a couple cards for me in early November, like the first week of November, and they were shipped right away. And he just received them this week or late last week. So 2 months. And he was awesome. He said he knew they were going to show up. He was patient. But not everybody's patient. And if it has been, as a buyer, if I haven't received something in a month or two, even knowing the issues of the post office, it's kind of like, it is what it is, but I hope some of these people will, like, once it does show up, they'll reach out. And I do know, there's always that stigma of PWE shipping. When there's a non-receipt, it's like, okay, did they really get it? So there is that stigma. And a lot of times I kind of read into the language and how they communicate the issue. If it's a simple, where's the tracking on a 99-cent free shipping card that clearly states shipped PWE, then I'm a little hesitant to immediately refund. I'll say that, I'll do the, generic, the post office historic delays, blah, 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 give it a couple more days. Every once in a while, within those couple days, somebody will receive it and they'll close the case. But hopefully when they receive the cards, eventually they'll, reach out. I don't want my money back. I just want the honesty. It's not about the $2 or whatever. It's more of, hopefully that, they're good people and, say, hey, this card finally showed up. So, and I do have some packages myself that I've got a few, I think 2 or 3 eBay purchases that tracking hasn't moved since like January 9th or 10th. So there are still delays. So if you are expecting any packages, there definitely are still delays in the post office. I'm going to go to the chat real quick. Zach, I may have to make a claim. Seller mailed 9 bows January 1st, and I'm giving them until the end of the month. Yeah, and for me as a buyer, if it's been a month, I think that's, some of these packages are showing up like 2 months later, which really sucks. Because at that point, like as a buyer, like, okay, like I actually opened up a request with somebody over the Ed Howards. I opened up the request and I said, hey, can you just do a lost mail claim and return it, have them return it to you? He never responded, which kind of annoyed me. They finally shook loose, and they received, and I closed the claim. So communication is key. Just, when somebody reaches out, typically right now, if it's, I'll go back and look, it's like, okay, this was shipped on December 13th. They're reaching out January 15th. I'm just going to refund the money automatically. If it's within like a week, even 10 days, then I'll send I'll send a message saying, give it a few more days. I try to 2 weeks. When it's beyond 2 weeks, when it's approaching 3 weeks and beyond, that's when it's just, okay, you haven't received the card. It's lost. Here's your money back. Zach says, sad thing is I don't want the refund. I want the cards. Yeah, that's the same. And I bought a Brennan Davis, and I still haven't bought another one from Topps Update. Brennan Davis insert from that #1 draft pick set. I bought it in like October, like right when Update came out. Never received, opened up a claim, got my money back, but I don't want the money. I want the card. Because now I'm going to have to go back and find another one. And I thought, well, maybe it'll eventually show up, but that was in like October. So I think it's lost. George says, your package to me is still chilling. Are you kidding me? It's still in the United. Oh my goodness. My Christmas gifts have been sitting in customs in Korea for over a month. Wow. I can't believe that package. When did I send that out? I sent that out over a week ago. Holy moly. Customs has to be a pain. Can someone refund me making a claim? Can someone refund without me making a claim? Yes. Do they get dinged with the claim? So I have to go back and look. There's several metrics for sellers. Opening claims. One of the biggest keys is responding to the claim and closing it within the window that eBay gives. You're really, if a claim is opened on a seller and the seller doesn't respond in any way and eBay steps in to force it, that's a big, strike against that seller. You can refund without making a claim. And in fact, that's happened probably on half of the non-receipt claims. Somebody will message me and say, hey, this still hasn't shown up. And then I'll just refund. And by doing that, it's actually like canceling an order. And I don't know, I have to look into this because the more and more this is happening, I do fear. Normally on the one-offs, before December, I wasn't worried. Because it didn't happen. Like I would have a non-receipt claim one every 1,000 transactions. It was so minimal that I didn't have anything to worry about. Now it's like a constant, like 2 or 3 a day. We're talking, instead of 1 out of 1,000, it's now becoming like 20 out of 1,000. So now I have to really look into and research, okay, what are the ramifications of canceling an order against somebody opening a non-receipt claim? So that's a great question that now things are adding up, that I do need to look into further, to make sure, I'm not hurting myself by canceling these orders instead of having the buyer open a non-receipt claim. That's a great question. Yeah, it's still there. I looked this morning on my weekly check to see if anything might arrive over the weekend. Man. Brad says the metrics hurt, I think, but not the rankings like the Google engine. Okay. Yeah, because so eBay has the sales metrics. And I'm going to go in because I have the window open. So the sales metrics are, where are they at? Okay, so seller report. So there's a transaction defect rate, late shipment rate, tracking uploaded on time and validated, cases closed without seller resolution. So that's that's the bad one. So those are kind of the metrics that that sellers are evaluated on. But I don't know if there's more weight given to any particular. So transaction defect rate. So a defect. So transactions you canceled for being out of stock is a defect. So that's not good, because that's typically what I do when a case is not opened. The transaction defect rate is the percentage of your total transactions that had any one of two defects, and being out of stock is one. Okay, so that is something I will have to look into. And cases closed because the only other is cases closed without seller resolution, which means eBay has to step in. So it sounds like, just real quickly reading over these details, it sounds like if a buyer opens a case, so if you open that non-receipt case and the seller responds within the eBay time period given, which I think is like 4 days, and it's resolved, it doesn't count against the seller. But how I've been doing it, if they don't open a case and I cancel it for being out of stock or damaged, that's a defect against me as a seller. So I need to change the way I've been handling that. It certainly can be a pain at times. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's good. So as long as the seller communicates, that's awesome. So awesome. So good talk. I appreciate it. Brad is coming up next on the Texas Card Dude channel. Check him out. Brad, I will have to watch you in rerun because I've got some unfortunate things that I have to deal with this morning. So work related. So check out Texas Card Dude. Website is up, 1millioncubs.com. Forgot to mention, I wrote a blog post published last night about this crazy. I discovered this on some research. 1977, a dying child. His favorite player, loved the Cubs. Favorite player, Bobby Mercer. Before a game, and this is 77. The Cubs are in the thick of the National League East race. I think they trailed the Phillies by a game and a half. They were a game up on the Pirates. They played in Pittsburgh. Bobby Mercer calls the boy. There's some, even finding some newspaper archives, there was some differences of how that conversation went. Bobby Mercer, post game, they're upset they lost to the Pirates that day. Pirates on a walk-off, so they lost. Pirates are creeping up. Bobby Mercer probably not happy with the game, and he was pretty short in his comments that no, he didn't promise the child hitting home runs. Bobby Mercer hit 2 home runs. Note was relayed. It was ABC's Monday Night Baseball, nationally televised. The boy was dying of cancer. It was announced that he was dying on cancer. The boy didn't know he was dying of cancer. He knew he was sick. He did not know he was dying. Very unfortunate. He passed away like 3 weeks later. So just, it was one of those stories that I had never heard, even as all the research that I do on the Cubs and following the Cubs. It was a story that I had never heard of, so I wanted to reshare, retell, since it's, I don't believe it's a common story, especially if you're under the age of 45, 50. So that's up, 1millioncubs.com. Twitter at 1millioncubs, eBay store, 99centcards.com. Links also at the top of the page at 1millioncubs.com. So thanks for tuning in. Thanks for the chat. Tomorrow, I want to talk about the value of a card and how we see values differently on certain cards. So I'll talk about that tomorrow morning. Thanks for tuning in and have a great Friday.